guys, my name is Dixie and I'm here back again about my concept store content. But today we'll be talking about 11 things to consider when you build your concept store. Number one, the first thing you have to consider is your storage space. So I'm just gonna show it to your screen kung ano ang storage namin before. And even though it's like that, kulang siya. To be honest, it's kulang. So, I realized when we were already operating the store, sana nag-allocate na lang kami ng specific space just for the storage because you have to remember you'll be dealing with stocks of different brands. So, they have to have a proper storage. Yung gagawin nyo naman din pagdating sa storage, make sure that the space is big enough to cater all brand partners and allocate specific measurements for each brand partner. Kasi, syempre, unfair naman, di ba, kung iba-iba sila ng, ng storage. Unless, you can do that as another parang business naman na if you want to store more stocks here, you can rent out this space. But dapat meron talagang by default storage space talaga sa mga brand partners. Alam niyo, pag pumupunta kayo ng mga mall, tapos nakikita niyo maraming mga boxes, diba? It's unattractive. That's why make sure you have a space for mga stocks. Next is you have to consider yung cashier. You have to consider meron dapat enough space just for the cashier. And also, yung space na yon, yung tipong makakagalaw yung cashier mo and they won't have any difficulty. Isa din sa problema namin before because I don't think yung space namin was conducive. Like, I don't think it worked, but we made it work. Pero if I were to go back in time, what I would do is make it a lot more spacious kasi sobrang sikip, talagang masikip siya. Pero we were able to turn things around. I think nung pinagawa namin siya at default, parang may ginawa pa kami extra changes doon. Nagdagdag pa kami ng mga drawer kasi nga sobrang hindi nag-work yung ginawa namin parang cashier top. So, you have to consider, you have to allot a space in a way na I'm not sure what you'll be using, but for us, we used a computer for our POS. Tapos, other than the computer, yung cash box, and then, syempre, yung mga supot sa ilalim, yung mga paper bag for the consumers when they buy, so ganun. So, all of the things that a cashier would need, dapat andun lahat and they have to be organized. So, that's very important. So, you have to imagine how do you want it to look like. So, yun po. Number 3 is the speakers. So, I know, parang out of the blue ang speakers, pero here's the thing. Pagdating kasi sa store, minsan, hindi mo siya naiisip and then later on, what you'll do is you'll just bring a speaker, Bluetooth speaker sa store mo, ganun. And I think it would be better to invest yung mag-invest ka na lang ng speaker na nasa loob mismo siya ng ceiling. It's not really that expensive. I think, ang nagastos namin nung time na yun, nasa around 6,000 to 10,000 pesos. And we already have 100 square meters yun na, guys, 100 square meters siya na space and meron kaming kinalat na 3 speaker. Kasi triangle kasi yung store namin. So, parang each corner. So, and it worked. Maganda yung tunog and it was, alam mo yung department store feels talaga siya. So, I think it's good na yung speaker niya, yung naka-attach na lang talaga sa ceiling. But it's really up to you if you want to have like it on the walls. Kayo bahala. But for me, I think it's better na nasa ceiling siya because it's not, alam mo yun, hindi siya eyesore because it's flat and you don't see it but there's a sound coming out. Parang ganun ang feeling niya. So that's just my preference. But wala namang mawawala. So yeah, just a suggestion. Third one is the baggage counter. We wanted to have a baggage counter because most of our customers before were students. And alam niyo naman mga estudyante, ang daming bitbit. Like, ang daming bitbit, tapos umiikot-ikot sila sa store. I think it would be safer din na may baggage counter, lalo na yung mga backpack. Like, may mga crimes kasi nangyayari ganun. But just for safety lang naman yun. So, it's good to have a baggage counter. So, it has to be near the entrance or maybe outside your store. It's really up to you, but it's good to have that space. But it's optional. It really depends naman sa inyo. Number 4 is staff space. So for this one, you need a space where your staff can rest, your staff can, alam niyo yun, yung mapaglalagay mo yung mga gamit nila, like kung may locker man sila, that's where they put their stuff, and then there's a space where they can rest during their break or have their lunch. I think that's good. Kasi it would be better na nandun sila sa loob na kung saan sila pwede magpahinga compared na nasa labas sila. Because I think yan yung isa sa mga mistake namin, because I noticed na yung staff ko, after ng break nila, they don't really get to enjoy it kasi wala naman silang mapagpupuntahan. So, they end up just, going back to the floor. Work na lang sila ulit. So, I think it would be, it's really important na magkaroon ng time and space ang mga staff to rest. So that's why it's very important na meron kang staff space. So, next is the pathway. So I think I've said this a couple of times already during my previous vlogs about concept store. It's good na hindi talaga crowded yung space ng store mo. That's why once you start your construction, make sure you have all measured everything. Also your mga modules mo, dapat na-measure mo siya ng maayos. And, ma-imagine mo na kung ano ang mangyayari. Kasi alam mo yun, sobrang liit ng space, it's kind of suffocating. So, that's just what I think, ha. Kasi, dumating talaga sa point sa store namin na nagbawas kami ng module because we wanted na magkaroon lang talaga ng space kasi ang sikip talaga niyang tingnan. I think it's better talaga na at least mga 1.5 to 2 meters yung pagitan, yung tipo makakapag-ikot pa yung mga people na nagvi-visit ng store mo. So, I think that's important. That's why, alam niyo yung mga stores na nakikita niyo, yung mga big brands, the space that they're renting out, pag pumasok ka sa store nila, alam niyo yun, makakagalaw ka, hindi siya masikip. May pathway sila. May mga section na medyo masikip, pero yung pathway nila, talagang meron kang space to breathe. So, I think that's important as well. Next is your store's facade. So, I think I've mentioned this one also on my previous vlog. This one is very important. So, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if ano yung concept mo, but let's say, for example, if you're a girly concept or a rustic concept, like the restore that I conceptualized with you guys, I think for me, I would love it na meron siyang mga warm light outside the store. I mean, warm light and a mixture of yung white light sa loob, tapos sa labas, mga warm light na magiging attractive talaga tignan yung store sa labas. So, it has to be seen by people outside para makita nila, anong meron yun. So, I think that's very important. So, maybe one of your concept is kind of like being mysterious, mga ganon. So, maybe you can just paint everything black and then put something intriguing outside para ma-curious yung people and then they'll go inside your store. So, depende naman yun sa marketing strategy mo or ano yung concept na meron ka. So, yeah, just use your concept as an inspiration and picture out what your store would look like outside. Because that also, alam niyo yun, gamitin niyo na yung opportunity na yung look pa lang ng store niyo, pang marketing na. So, I think that's important. Next is Ingress Space. So, if you're not familiar with Ingress and Ingress, this is just your parang schedule for paglabas and pasok ng stocks ng brand partners. I think there should be a space for that one because you don't want your brand partners going inside the store on their module, naghahakot-hakot ng mga stuff while ang mga tao nag-ikot. I don't think that's good kasi it looks unattractive. And mas maganda talaga if merong space where may space and may schedule where people can, your brand partner and your staff can sort those things out. Kasi mas better na yung store, ang makikita ng mga tao is everything na binibenta. So if during an hour after you open or an hour before you close, so they can sort those things out, yung mga bagong stocks, ganyan, Pero during peak hours, I don't think it's good na merong mga nag-aayos ng stocks. So it's good to have a space where your brand partner and your staff can check up the inventory and then, yeah, you know, ilalabas or ipapasok mo yung stocks. So it's good to have a space for that. Also, you have to consider kasi the reason why we want to have a space for ingress and egress because you want to lessen the possibility of discrepancies. I know, hindi naman intention ng brand partners na, alam mo yun, dayain ka. I don't think that happened to us. Pero syempre, may mga times kasi na baka yung staff mo confused or even the brand partner, they might get confused or may naiwan silang stock. So, it's their loss or may nadagdag silang stock sa kanila. It's your loss. So, that's why it's better na, you know, para walang problema, it has to be a different space where they can sort those things out. Next is comfort room. I know this is optional as well because it really depends on where you will be putting up your store. So let's say for example, you're inside the mall. So I don't think you need a space for comfort room sa loob ng store mo since the mall itself has a restroom, diba? So for us, since we're outside the mall, wala kaming CR and that's one of the things na pinagsisisihan ko din because I think CR is needed, especially sa staff. Even ako na nandun ako sa store and alam mo yun, I have to walk ilang minutes before I can do my thing. I think, di ba, mas better talaga na merong CR for your staff and also maybe for your other customers. Maybe they're pregnant or they're old and they can't walk that far. So I think it's good na you have your CR prepared just in case naman na, I think everyone will need comfort room, especially your staff. So it's good to have a comfort room inside your store. Next one is admin space. So for the admin space, this is where you will be dealing with your potential brand partners. So pwede naman na yung admin space and yung staff space is isahin mo na lang where they can rest. Maybe it's your office, but if it's their break time, they can go sa office mo so that they can just maybe chika with you. It really depends sa'yo. So, yun nga, it's good to have an admin office where all the paperworks are there. Maybe the admin office can also work as a place where they can count yung mga ingress na mga items. So, it's good to have that space para naman if you're dealing with a potential brand partner, you can talk to them quietly. There's a space where you both can focus. And also, you can, parang pwede mo nang ipaghalo sa space na to yung storage space, staff space, and admin space. You also need to have a space where you can put your office supplies because even though you're a store, you still need an office supply. So for us, we need yung papel for receipts, ball pens, bond paper for the inventory, stapler, paper bag, alam mo yun, lahat ng mga kakailanganin ng store. You need to have a place where you can store yung mga parang extra stocks mo so that anytime that you'll be needing it, you can just go there and, take it. Para naman yung store mismo, let's just call your store of your floor. Yung floor mismo, at least it's clean. Like, ang makikita lang nila is yung mga kailangan lang dun sa store mismo. So that's why it's better to have a separate space for those things I mentioned earlier. Remember, storage space, admin space, staff space. So those things. Lastly is tagging. So this one is very important. I'd like to give you an example, but I think it's been a while since I went out to buy something, but let me try. Maghanap ako ng item na merong tag. Here! Yes, this one is a perfect example. So, I bought this one sa SNR. So, these are my underwear, but I'm not gonna show you the underwear, just the box. So, binili ko to sa SNR, guys. And, if you're going to use the same system that we used, I think, hindi naman necessary na system na same sa amin eh. But, yung tipong system where you can print out your tags, kasi that's very important. Yung system mo, dun ipapasok ng brand partners mo yung stocks nila, and yung system mismo magge-generate yun ng tags. Yung tags na yun, they'll be printing it out on a sticker paper. And then they'll create a tag of their own, And then, ididikit nila yung pricing, yung barcode, dun mismo sa item. So, just to give you an example, I still have something here na may tag. So, since I haven't used it yet. So, this one, I bought a scarf. So, ayan. So, eto. So, your brand partner can purchase, they can create their own tag. And then, yung i-generate ng system mo na barcode, ipiprint nila sa sticker paper, and then ididikit nila yun dito, diba? But, if they can just include it like this one also. They're printing it out mismo dito sa tag. So, you can do that as well. But, for some, they just put it on a sticker paper, especially yung mga items na products, because they can't put a paper around it, diba? So, dapat sticker siya. So, this is very important, guys. I know, sobrang thrilling, pinapatagal ko pa. But, this is important because look at this one. The sticker, the barcode, it should be like this. So, syempre, hindi naman ganyan yung design, diba? Ang point ko lang naman is, I'm not sure if you see that. Sige, wait lang. Ano, parang meron siyang nakakat. Ano, pakita ko, guys, Tamo, once you remove it, may parang nagunting na part ito dito sa mga corners. That's very important. Kasi before, ang ginagawa namin, we just print it out and then stick it dun sa tag. So, if masisira siya, your staff will question that. Baka siya sira, baka pinalitan. So, alam niyo yun, it's just safe na dapat yung sticker talaga is yung napupunit. Hindi lang siya basta-basta na sticker na dinikit lang. Kasi, if the quality of the sticker you bought, yung pagtipong pagtanggal mo, malinis lang, pwede nilang ilipat dun kung saan nila gusto. So, I don't think that's good. That's why you have to protect yourself from those people. And, better to cut your sticker sa mga corners. Yun lang naman. So, those are my 11 tips. Something to consider when you build your concept store. Maybe you have tips for those who want to create their own concept store. You just comment below and share us those tips. Baka naman makatulong din to sa iba. So, yun guys, if you have any other question, if you have, questions about concept store, how to build one, what are the things na, under the sun na mga maisip niyong question about concept store or business or books, just comment down below and I'll answer them for you or maybe create a content surrounding that topic. So yun guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more business, book reviews, anything under the sun kind of content, and I'll see you next time. Thank you!